This is a message that you're going to receive when you need a little bit of guidance, or a little bit of help along your path, or or just in life in general if you're feeling stuck. Okay, my ancestors and my spirit team and God would like to get this analogy out there for people that feel that way, that they can always come back to, okay, as a gentle reminder, just in the mental of how easy it can be to correct your path, or to at least find your path, okay, your true destiny, true purpose, and what'll lead you to your wildest dreams. And then, I guess, another, I guess about it, but it'll lead you to your wildest dreams, and beyond. So as I'm finding, as the process, as it goes along, you learn little bits and pieces of yourself, or you pick those up, and those little bits are treasured moments as they are. So, anywho, analogy. I want you to think of a hallway, okay? Think of a hallway, and some of you have 20 doors in your hallway. Some of you may have 5. Some of you may feel like you have 50, because you got all kinds of paths that you can go down. And you don't know which one to pick or what to do next, or you tried a few doors and you're feeling discouraged, okay? But now think of this analogy. First, like, say that you got 20 doors down your hallway. First, if you can eliminate any of those immediately, if they don't feel like they're in alignment with your purpose or with you, where you're going, the way you want to go in life, doesn't matter how you see it, then remove those doors first and foremost. Lock those doors, or ask your higher power, to remove those doors for you. Whether that be a prayer or however it is that you communicate. Let me put it that way. And then pick a door. Just try it. Try the door. The more doors like that'll give you confidence. Okay, no matter what, you'll learn something from it, and it'll give you confidence to open the next door. And the more doors that you open, regardless of whether they're right or wrong, you will learn lessons along the way that we need. We learn. We need to learn. You know what I mean? It makes us stronger. It makes us smarter. It makes us, more intelligent. It benefits us in so many ways. It also just depends on what the lesson is. You can't predict what you're going to learn from it until you go through the lesson. So, but either way, continue to try doors. Just keep working your way down, or if something sticks out to you and just like you feel drawn to it, try that door first. There's typically a reason for that. That's your intuition. Or there's something really important for you to learn there. Okay? So it could be one or the other, but it could be a door that you open that eliminates 5 more doors. Think of it that way too. Okay? Your hallway and your path make it a lot clearer. And that's inevitably your path. Okay, to that final door that's at the end. You just don't know which one it is yet. It doesn't appear on the end until you pick the right door. Okay? So that end where it looks like it's just an end of a hallway, no, a door will appear there. But you have to pick the right door on the right or the left first. Okay? So, yeah, keep plugging away. I know it can be discouraging at times, but there's lessons in there. And once you figure out what the lesson is and you learn from it, boom, clarity comes. Your doors are like I said, you'll find that some of the doors just naturally just lock themselves, or they just shed away. They're not a part of your hallway anymore until you narrow it down to a few, or you hit on the right one, because your intuition just won't let you. It just won't let you forget about it. It'll keep it on your mind, because again, one way or the other, either that's the one, or there's something really important to learn there that'll narrow it down to get you to it. Okay. If anything in this helped you, if this analogy helped you, please pass it along. It helped me a lot in my process, and it was one that just kind of, it was popped up today in thought, and in kind of processing things that I've been going through lately, and it was like, what, that's something that I could definitely pass along, that I know could help a lot of people. It just depends on if you have the right mindset. Okay, that's key too. Don't put yourself down. Remember, when a door closes, it closed for a reason. Okay, you may not see it yet, but it closed for a reason. And just remember, take the lesson from it. Don't, keep your head down. If you do have your head down, try and find something that'll bring you, a little bit of peace, a little bit of joy. But again, search for the lesson, because that's where it makes it to where you can move on, and you'll feel healing. typically in that, because there's a loop there, or there's something there to learn from that may have been passed on for many generations. So until you really dive deep into that, you really don't know, and there's a lot of layers to that. But just trust that if you have faith and you keep opening doors, okay, and you trust your guides, or whatever the powers that be that you believe in your life, you trust your guides, you're on this path for a reason, and I'm on your feed for a reason. So you definitely must want better for yourself and others, or at least for yourself, and maybe in your loved ones, if nothing else. So, or maybe you want to start a family. It just depends on where you're at in life. So, anywho, keep plugging away. I'm proud of you for getting this far. It's not an easy feat. It's not an easy feat even, starting this process. So, again, be kind to yourself and one another, and each other. And with that, and gratitude, and consistency, and a little bit of discipline, a lot of bit of discipline, but just put a little bit in to begin with, if you're people who don't have a whole lot of structure in your life, and maybe that's a big part of the doors that you're working through. The discipline goes a long way, and that's one of the hardest things, is to hold ourselves accountable sometimes. I'm right there with you. I've been there plenty in my life. So, but again, it comes from learning these lessons, and these messages that I put out there, by the way, they're messages that are sent to me for a reason, or that I think of for a reason. It's because they need to be in my process. They're things that I need to revisit, to remind me, A, how far I've come, but B, also to reiterate that lesson, now looking back, was instrumental, and I need to pass it along. So again, please do that as well, to share in the blessing. If it brings blessings into your life, or clarity, share that, and it brings more clarity and blessings into your life. The more you share, the more you get, the more that you get to be involved in these things. Blessings may just be enjoying life simply, or feeling better about yourself. They can be small blessings, but you have to have gratitude for each and every one of them, all the little things. The more gratitude you have, and the more appreciation that you have and you show for those things, again, the more blessings that you'll bring back into your life, because you'll be paying attention to them. It shows the universe and the powers that be that you care, like you are paying attention, and that you do value things that are more than surface level or materialistic. Don't get me wrong, some of the blessings that you get will be, they may be materialistic things, quote unquote, but they're things that align with your purpose, or they're things that you truly love. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. So there's no reason to feel guilty if you do have blessings coming into your life, and you see others around you who don't. You don't know what their path is, and you also don't know the demons or just the skeletons that are in their closet. Let me put it that way. So you let them carry on with their path. If they don't align with your path, then let them just fade away. It's not to be disrespectful, or to say that you're better than them, or that I'm better than them, or that, you know what I mean? That's not what it's about, and you already understand that if you're on your path. You know what I mean? Or at least you have some understanding of that. You care about more than just yourself. You understand that there is a value in relationships. So, and that's why a big part of this as well is self-respect. You got to value yourself as well, and in the people that you keep around you. Because again, they'll take advantage of you really quick, sometimes. And also, they may just not even necessarily take advantage of you. They may not even mean to, but they may just lead you astray, lead you off your path, whether it be consciously or subconsciously, unconsciously, basically. There's a lot of zombies out there too that are just they're going through the motions, and that's what they're going to do for the rest of their life. Just go through the motions. So be kind to them, wish them love and light. Again, you know what I mean? Don't give them your blessings, essentially, but you wish them love and light, and you wish them healing, okay? And you be humble when your blessings do come in. Don't forget to give back, and share with others that you're aligned with, the purposes that you're aligned with, Okay, and and that'll do wonders in making the world go around going forward. So the world needs to see more of that, and I've begun to see more of that. I mean, of course, I try to look for the good in everything, or at least find the best in everything, or even if it's the best of the worst, doesn't matter. I'll find the best thing in it, even if it's still, technically negative. Any kind of positivity, if you can end on a positive. So I like when I played basketball a lot with my son down at the basketball court, I'd always tell him to leave on a make. We'd always leave on a make. I mean, so that was a part of our process. It builds the right mentality. It builds structure. It builds a little bit of discipline. There's a lot of little lessons that are in that. So if you're a parent out there, father, mother, if you don't be, like, if you're looking for something like that to add to your routine, if when you're in sports, end on a make. It doesn't matter what sport it is. Doesn't matter. So, yeah. So it built a lot of structure in me as a kid. I put that into play from watching, some of my favorite athletes. The Michael Jordans, the Wayne Gretzky's, the Dale Earnhardts, the prime examples of authenticity and just excellence, in their own crafts. So, yeah, those kind of things, like those, they taught me lessons, and with those lessons, I learned things at a young age that, I was privy to learning things at a younger age because I was by myself a lot. That some kids just didn't ever have the opportunity to, or they didn't see the things that I saw. Like, they didn't pay attention to the things that I paid attention to. So, anyway, that being said, that was a little longer message that I had planned. But again, if there's things you learned in here and you took from it, please pass it along. Share it on all your social medias and whatnot, because this is a message that I feel like it impacts so many people's lives. So, I mean, that's the whole point of all these for me. At least, that's just that. I want to see people have an opportunity like I do, a second chance of life if they're looking for it. Even if they don't know they're looking for it. You know what I mean? Maybe something in here will resonate that sparks something in them that all of a sudden, bam. They look at themselves, look at others, not in a disrespectful way, but in a different way that is growth mentality for themselves. So, anyway, all right. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend, and take care.